At 5:02 in the morning on January 19th, a boiler exploded at Rockstar North's headquarters in Edinburgh, which is the main studio behind GTA 6. There was structural damage, emergency services rushed to the scene, and within hours the internet was already losing it, asking if this was going to delay the game. Let me tell you what actually happened. Most of Edinburgh was still asleep when things went wrong at the Holyrood Road building. One of the heating boilers malfunctioned, and it wasn't a quiet little problem. There was an explosion, real structural damage. The kind of thing that gets fire trucks racing across town immediately. The Scottish Fire and Rescue Service got the call and sent out 3 fire engines plus 4 specialist vehicles. That's a lot of equipment for a serious situation. The crews spent over 4 hours on site making sure the building was safe and securing all the damage before they finally cleared out around 9:21 a.m. But here's the most important thing you need to know. Nobody got hurt. Because it happened so early in the morning, the building was basically empty. Most of those 650 developers who worked there were still at home in bed. If this had gone down during normal work hours with everyone inside, we'd be having a very different conversation right now. You know how it goes online. Within hours, people were spinning theories. Major explosion destroys entire building. GTA 6 delayed indefinitely. This is the end of Rockstar. Some people even started connecting it to the labor disputes from last year, like maybe it was sabotage or something. Let's just cut through all that noise. What we actually know is pretty straightforward. A boiler malfunctioned around 5 a.m. There was some structural damage. Emergency services responded. Nobody got hurt. The studio was operational within hours. What's pure speculation? Everything else. The building being destroyed, development getting halted, the release date getting pushed back. Any conspiracy theories about the cause? Look, boilers malfunction in commercial buildings all the time. It's not great, obviously. There's damage, it's disruptive, and it requires a serious emergency response. But it's also not some apocalyptic disaster that's gonna derail a decade of game development. And here's the thing, if this was actually going to delay GTA 6, Rockstar would have said something. They're not gonna put out a statement saying everything's fine, we're still operational, if they knew they were about to announce a delay. That's not how this works. Here's what a lot of people don't realize about how Rockstar operates. Rockstar North might be the lead studio for GTA, but they're not working alone in some isolated building in Edinburgh. GTA 6 is being developed by thousands of people spread across something like 9 or 10 different studios around the world. You've got Rockstar New York handling publishing, Rockstar San Diego, the Red Dead Redemption team, Rockstar Toronto doing PC ports, Rockstar India in Bangalore, Rockstar Dundee, also in Scotland, Rockstar Australia, which they just acquired last year. The list goes on. When you're making a game this massive, you build in redundancy. It's not like all the code and assets are sitting on one computer in Edinburgh. Everything's backed up on cloud servers. Teams collaborate remotely. Modern game development is distributed by design, partly for efficiency, partly for exactly this kind of situation. Plus, remember 2020? The whole industry figured out how to work from home for years. If part of the Edinburgh office needs repairs, developers can work remotely while that happens. It's not ideal, but it's not going to stop production. Rockstar North's got about 650 people, which makes it the biggest Rockstar studio, but GTA 6's development involves thousands more across the globe. One boiler malfunction in one building isn't gonna bring down an international operation like that. Now, GTA 6 has been delayed before. Twice, actually. Originally slated for fall 2025, then pushed to May 26, 2026, then pushed again to November 19th, 2026, where it sits now. Both times, Rockstar said they needed more time to polish the game, which honestly is classic Rockstar. They've delayed pretty much every major game they've ever made. GTA 4, GTA 5, and Red Dead Redemption 2 were all delayed, and they all came out great because Rockstar takes the time to get things right. But here's the pattern. When Rockstar delays a game, they announce it officially, usually during Take-Two's earnings calls. They don't just let it slip because of some random incident. The delay to November 2026 was announced in early November 2025, and since then, Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick has repeatedly said he feels really good about the November 19th date. In fact, just recently during their latest earnings call, Zelnick reaffirmed the date and said marketing is kicking off this summer. That's a big deal. You don't start a major marketing campaign if you're worried about missing your release date. Marketing costs serious money, and you plan that stuff months in advance. If the boiler incident was going to cause problems, we'd know by now. Rockstar would have mentioned it in their statement. Take-Two would have adjusted its guidance to investors. The fact that nobody's saying anything about delays, that tells you everything you need to know. There's some other context worth mentioning here. Rockstar North's been dealing with some drama lately that has nothing to do with boilers. Back in late 2025, they fired more than 30 people from the Edinburgh office. The Independent Workers' Union of Great Britain said it was union busting, that employees were organizing and got fired for it. Rockstar said no, these people were discussing confidential GTA 6 information in public Discord channels that included competitors and journalists. There were protests outside the building. UK politicians got involved. It's been a whole thing. Some people online tried to connect the fire to all that, like maybe it wasn't really an accident, but come on, a boiler malfunctions and people immediately jump to conspiracy theories? That's a stretch. What actually happened is that a piece of equipment broke. Emergency services handled it professionally. The building had some damage, but remained functional, and development continued. That's it. Sometimes the simple explanation is the right one. So where does all this leave us with GTA 6? Honestly, exactly where we were before the fire happened. November 19th, 2026. There's no indication of any delays. Marketing is set to start this summer, which means we're probably getting a new trailer soon. Maybe some gameplay footage, and definitely a lot more information about the game. And let's be real, GTA 6 is going to be absolutely huge. The first trailer alone got 93 million views in just 24 hours, which actually broke YouTube records. We're talking about a return to Vice City in the modern day, set in the fictional state of Leonida, which is basically their version of Florida. We've got dual protagonists this time, including Lucia, who's the first female protagonist in a mainline GTA game. Rockstar's been calling it their most ambitious project ever, and that's saying something. Industry analysts are already predicting 40 million copies sold in just the first year alone, and over $3 billion in revenue. This could potentially be the biggest entertainment launch in history across all media. We're talking movies, music, everything. So a boiler malfunction at one of their studios, that's not gonna derail any of that. Not even close. Everyone's safe. The studio's operational. Development is continuing as normal. Rockstar confirmed all of this publicly, and if something actually changes down the line, they'll tell us officially through proper channels, not through social media rumors and speculation. When you see headlines about this kind of stuff, just remember to check what's actually been confirmed versus what's just people freaking out online. There's a huge difference between there was a boiler malfunction with no injuries and the studio remains operational, and GTA 6 is doomed. The gaming industry has this habit where every little piece of news gets blown up into a massive crisis. A voice actor follows someone on Twitter and suddenly they're in the game. A developer tweets a cryptic emoji and it's new trailer confirmed. A boiler breaks and now everything's ruined. It gets exhausting. So let's just stick to what we actually know for sure. GTA 6 is still on track for November 19th, 2026. Rockstar's getting ready to start their marketing campaign this summer, and while the fire at the studio was definitely serious, it didn't change any of that. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.